Yokoe, Talofa, Kiorana, and a very warm welcome to the Pacific Way. Today, we begin with a story from Tuvalu, where the citizens are now able to use sustainable energy to cook their food after the installation of 40 biogas digesters across the islands. Sustainable cooking energy on the outer islands of Tuvalu rely heavily on shipping schedules. With the biogas project, cooking gas will be readily available by utilizing pig manure, which has been one of the major causes of pollution in Tuvalu.
Waste for most of us is repulsive and filthy. However, if you've witnessed what pig waste can do for cooking and in your garden, your perception on this trash would change. In the small island nation of Tuvalu, the project recipients of pig waste converted to biogas are seeing its benefits. For a nation that is vulnerable to climate change and sea level rise, this initiative goes a long way in enhancing the livelihood of her people.
We are building infrastructure to address climate change. We are getting solar energy. We are looking at renewable energy. And that's why the project of biogas comes in very, very relevant to the overall frame of things in Tuvalu.
Te langona ki te mtou kāinga e whakawhiawhia ki me o lasi ki te whakawholikinga me tau tupe mātou me te mtou kāinga.
Ne langona ki te whakamāmanga o te tongisoko te kalasini mātou te kānga te mtou biogas.
The idea for biogas as a project began here at the Tuvalu Department of Works and Energy in collaboration with the German government funding agency GIZ and the European Union. In 2015, a scheme was established and coined as the Tuvalu Adaptation to Climate Change and Sustainable Energy, or Tuvalu X project.
And in Tuvalu, the idea was the government submitted a proposal which was on doing projects related to sustainable energy portfolio, and that fell exactly in line with the mission for GIZ and EU, which was to support Pacific Island countries adapt to climate change.
An important factor to the project is Teoleala Manuela Morris, also known as Teo. Teo was part of the team that worked with the Tuvalu Department of Works and Energy in putting together a project proposal document. The initiative is important for her, as she has chosen biogas as the subject of her PhD thesis for doctorate in climate change and philosophy.
Even though it's a challenge, getting into biogas, because biogas is also energy. I don't have a background in energy. I have a background in agriculture, that is undergrads. And but in a way, my supervisor was an energy person, so I was challenged to come up with an idea to have a combination on my background in agriculture and her background. So I came up with the idea, why not I go into biogas, whereby it's an agricultural product and it can turn into energy at the same time, can produce food.
Teo is visiting the Pacific Community, SPC, in her capacity as the Tuvalu Monitoring and Evaluation Consultant. The Tuvalu Department of Works and Energy collaborates closely with SPC as a development partner to the project. SPC oversees the implementation and provides technical advisory to Tuvalu as a member country.
Well, I can say that the project aims to enhance the livelihood of people in Tuvalu. As we speak, there's a whole lot of issues that are that surrounds the project in terms of for example, the LPG gas price in Tuvalu is very high. So the project in installing the biogas units will make use of the pig manure to produce methane gas, and that way the families are able to utilize that for cooking.
The project has three main outputs: update of biogas technologies, improvement of agricultural production, and waste management. Teo's visit to the University of the South Pacific, USP, is necessary to ensure that she is on track with her studies. Her lecturer advised of two important criteria for her course: to collect relevant data for scientific analysis and publication of journals relating to her thesis.
But then I'll do the publications.
In government, we are putting in policies that only supports the students who include climate change in their studies. We cannot just play around with the wording of climate change just for the sake of discussions and talks. I think that time is overdone, is overdue, that we must really be serious about this.
It's October 2018, and the project is coming to its end. Teo is finalizing the details of project monitoring and evaluation, or M&E, with the SPC team before returning to Tuvalu. This year, Tuvalu celebrates its 40th anniversary of nationhood. The country also rejoices the survival of the nation and its people against the realities of climate change and sea level rise. Destination is to the island of Funafala, a 30-minute boat ride from the capital.
This is actually the visual of the impacts of the project. This morning we discussed with the household with the biogas, where they're using the biogas stoves, but we don't see it. So this family that we're going to see is the only family that I can get information out of them that what the actual impacts.
Accompanying Teo on this trip is her husband Morris, their daughter Tanehoa, and Feta. Feta is a member of the family that hosts the biogas project. Funafala is rural, but with good water supply and electricity, which runs on another renewable power initiative, solar energy. Sharing a meal with Feta and her husband, Sakalia is important as a way of introduction before the monitoring and evaluation exercise begins. The couple are also caretakers of the island. Teo has been waiting patiently to witness a biogas system in operation. Most of her curiosities about the subject of her thesis would soon be answered. Coconut is the staple diet for pigs here, supplemented with fish, leftover food, and local leaves. Like most Pacific Island communities, Tuvaluans live in extended families. This is an advantage for Sakalia, especially when there are over 20 pigs to feed. Out of 20 pigs or so, only 8 are kept in this special pen. The pen is part of the project, which is designed to allow the better collection of waste and regular cleaning with fresh water. The ratio of water to pig's waste is 1:1, or half a bucket of waste to half a bucket of water. Before the solution is poured into the ingester, all solid matters are broken down so that it doesn't obstruct the waste inlet pipe. Once the digester is filled with pig's waste, Feta takes over.
Au ki te au whakai whakawhtai toku loto ne, moho whesoa so ane konei, ko maua ne mātou whenei, ko la iwai whetu tau tupu. Au whakawhtai ki, mo whesoa so ane.
I'm timing the cooking for the, now it's about 1 minute since she starts to cook. We have the son, we have the daughter, and we have the couple. So it's telling us about what is happening and even suggested to us what can be improved for the model. So in that way, we didn't only come to do the evaluation, the impact of that, but also we talked on the technicality of the use of the biogas stove. So I felt that yesterday and today is fulfilling.
It's also fulfilling to witness another output of the project being carried out by Sakalia and Tui, the home food garden. A small collection of vegetables is almost ready for transplant, but Funafala, like the rest of Tuvalu, is an atoll island, and proper soil for vegetables is in short supply. Improvement of soil quality is a must, and this is where pig's waste comes in. Collection of pig's waste for the biogas unit and for home food garden is also linked to another project output, waste management. Capacity building and training is the long-term strategy to ensure there is sustainability in the project at the community level. In October and during the first week of the independence celebration, the Pacific community conducted a special training in collaboration with the Department of Energy at the Tuvalu USB campus. It was mandatory for all biogas unit owners to be present at the training. Popularity of biogas in Funafala and the rest of Tuvalu is growing. Out of the 40 biogas units earmarked for the project, only 9 are currently working. Transportation and communication were identified as the main challenges to the project. The challenge now is for the continuity of the scheme when it's in the hands of the government.
Part of the plan now is for government is to perhaps look at how successful these are on the outer islands and where we can improve on those. We will certainly look at those and also perhaps increase the number of units to be given to the outer islands so that more households will have access to sustainable sources of energy for cooking.
It's the end of Teo's monitoring and evaluation exercise in Funafala, but this is also the beginning of her journey and fellow Tuvaluans who have embraced biogas as a relevant technology to building resilience to the impact of climate change.
You're watching The Pacific Way. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for tonight, but we'll leave you with this performance from the New Zealand delegation at the 12th Festival of Pacific Arts held in Guam. Be sure to check out all our videos on the Pacific Community YouTube channel or the Pacific Way Facebook page. Until then, tofa soifua, mahalo, and metaki.
The first item is normal practice for visitors when we visit a place is to introduce ourselves and who we are and to perform. And we perform an opening item. We call it an entry in English. So that was our entry, and the words are just who we are, where we're from, and we are here, and we're great to be here. That's the first item, and it quotes genealogy. So we descend from this person down to us on the stage. We're all related, all the performers are from the same place in Aotearoa, New Zealand, followed by an action song. Just like the entry, the action song is dedicated to one of our ancestors who travelled the Pacific, more specifically from the Cook Islands. So the Cook Islands, we view them as our older brothers, so we sung a song about one of their ancestors, one of our ancestors who travelled the Pacific Ocean, sort of a link to here in Guam. The poi talks about our god of the ocean called Tangaroa, and again linking us still to the Festpak, so everything is all about Festpak, the ocean, the moana, and it was Tangaroa. We had a few stick games to share our culture, just a few short sticks, long sticks, having fun with each other and with the crowd, and it all helps with dexterity and hand-eye coordination, and followed that by the men's long sticks or long staffs. So the stick games help you for your long staffs for war, but we don't do that anymore or for show. Haka, of course, everywhere we go, haka's world famous, so we had to do the haka, and it's always great to get participation. From a big venue like this, it's real hard to get people on the stage, so we just make them stand up in the audience, in the grandstand. When we go to little venues, they're on the stage with us, and we're interacting with the people, so they feel part of our show. Yeah!